Lil Yachty hiding his daughter. Do I believe that? And I'm gonna tell you why. So when I was listening to the interview, his reason on why he don't post his daughter is sounded believable, right? I'm listening to it and I'm like, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. I could see why somebody wouldn't want to post their daughter for those reasons. But then once I found out that the daughter was darker skinned, then I was like, oh, never mind. Never mind. I don't put nothing past no colorist black man. I don't put nothing past no colorist black man. And if you're a colorist black man and you feel some way about my video, don't do too much in my comment section because it's just going to get you blocked. But I've dealt with enough dark-skinned black men to understand how this works when they have children darker than what they prefer to have, right? You're definitely going to get an influx of the lighter child on their page or being showcased more than the darker kids that they got, right? That's when they got multiple kids. But when they only got one child and that child seems to be a little darker, you won't see it much. You won't see it much. And they'll tell you all of these stories about the child don't want to be posted, the child don't like pictures like that, but they be lying. But they be lying. They be lying. Because regardless of whether or not the child like pictures want to be posted, if they were actually proud of what that child looked like, they would post it against that child's will just like they be doing anything else, right? It's only because that child didn't come out looking like they had already pictured in their head. And that's the reason why they don't be posting it like that. Now, to my understanding, Lil Yachty baby mama don't really post a child either like that. And that's speaking on a whole other topic when you start getting into light-skinned girls or biracial girls or non-black women who have babies with dark-skinned men and in hopes of having a child that look just like them. And when the child don't come out looking just like them, they be feeling some kind of way, right? They don't go into it thinking, maybe I might not end up having a light-skinned child with loose textured hair, even though I'm light-skinned with loose textured hair. I'm sleeping with a dark-skinned man with 4C hair. I could possibly end up with a child that looks more like him. It never go through their head that could happen, right? But when that does happen, you see that they don't just be as proud as you would think that they would be of that child. And that's not to say they don't love the child, but they definitely don't show that child off like they would if the child came out looking like the way they wanted it to look or how they had pictured in their head it was going to look. I keep telling y'all, you got to be careful who you friends with. Some of these people are not really your friends. The moment that they have an ability to step on you, to make you feel small, they will use it. Especially when they are in front of company or people that they want to look cool in front of or they want to get their respect from. Lil Yachty, I don't know you, but this video right here does not make you look good. No matter what point you was making, you should never do your homie like that in front of everybody. It's clear as day that we wouldn't know your friend if it wasn't for you. But at the end of the day, you still don't know what this man could have done. And this is why I say, don't always take advice from people who are more successful than you or think that because they're more successful that it gives them more credit. Because a lot of times they'll be the one to lead you astray. Come on, Lil Yachty, we got to do better.
I feel like y'all ignore how bad of a person a lot of these rappers are until they do something you can't ignore. Lil Yachty been a bad person for a long time. Like, he's been a bad person for a minute now. I clocked he was a bad person when Sexy Red was on his podcast, and I'm not even the biggest Sexy Red fan, but they asked her, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you? And she tried to tell her grape story because that was the craziest thing that ever happened to her. And it was like, nah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. And it seems like a small gesture, and like maybe they just didn't want that type of energy on their show. But it's like she's a victim trying to open up on your podcast. Like, you don't understand what that would have done for her. Maybe that would have helped her in some type of way. That's showing that not only that, she trusts y'all. She wants to open up to you. And if a victim of something that traumatic wants to open up and is okay with telling their story, you let them tell their effing story. You don't just be like, oh, no, we don't want to hear that. And then they try to clean it up because they know how bad it sounded. They was like, oh, well, we're sorry about that. But, we were just thinking about something different. No, cut it out. Cut it out. And the way that they talk about women on that podcast anyway shows that they're bad people. That little short dude that's Lil Yachty's best friend, he's always advocating for somebody being sorry, not even just broke, but just a sorry man. Like, oh, well, what if he doesn't want to work, or what if he doesn't have a car or have a job or have it? What? Would you want anybody that doesn't have a car, don't have a job, don't have anything going on for themselves? Like, what are we talking about right now? What's the conversation even? But yeah, back to my point. That would have done so much for your show if you just let her tell her story. For one, you would have gotten ratings, because I'm pretty sure nobody watches that show, so you would have gotten good ratings, and it would have gave her fans the opportunity to know more about Sexy Red. It would have gave people like me that's not really a fan, you know, I hear her music on TikTok, but it would have gave people like me the opportunity to know more about her and maybe connect more with her. Like, it would have done so much, but they're so dense and just immature that they didn't want to have that conversation. At that point, I knew he's not a good man. He's not a smart man, but he's definitely not a good dude. Him or...
So I always hated Lil Yachty, right? And I could not put into words why. It was just something about him. And then one time I was talking to this girl and she told me she slept with him. I was like, man, I'm going to be his Eskimo little brother. So that really irritated me, okay? But I knew if I just waited in the shadows, hating for long enough, something would arise and then I'd be able to articulate why I hated him. And then yesterday happened. He was on live crashing out, and that changed everything. I'm now his biggest supporter. It was such a beautiful moment of raw human expression. Everyone saying, oh, don't let Lil Yachty buy you a McChicken because he's going to tell everybody about it. Here's the thing, though. He didn't buy them a McChicken. He literally changed their lives, so they low-key do owe him a bit. He literally dressed 5 people before they would leave the house like human Build-A-Bears. I'm sure you all have that person in your life where you've done so much for them, you feel like they completely do not appreciate you enough. Now imagine that thing that you did for them was literally changing their life. So I'm watching this live, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is exactly what I'd be wanting to do at all times. It's like I'd be wanting to crash out like that, but I mustn't, okay? I must restrain. Platform's not big enough yet. There's so many times in my life, I'm like, after everything I've done for you, you're gonna try to do this to me just because I'm a little bit of a bad person? I do good and bad, but I do so much more good than I do bad. Anyways, y'all need to think about that a little bit. I've been listening to Lil Yachty's music ever since like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it hits so much.
We are not like in the season of let's trash Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty. No, like seriously, I'm not gonna spend like more than a minute on this guy, and I feel like everybody just covered what they need to cover. We covered a lot of aspects of this guy, like how he didn't plan out for his daughter to come out, how he is as a friend, how he is when people try to open up to him, and how he's not really smart in terms of business. Like, money in itself does not, and all those other aspects before I jump into that one, right? Like, money does not make anyone a better person. Like, money amplifies who you are already. You understand? I love money because money does this. Money allows you to be yourself. There's nothing that will make you feel freer than having access to money. Some people who you think are kind are not really kind. They're just poor. Just give them money. So I just wish money on a lot of people, even on my enemies. Like I wish money on all of you, so that we can see who you are, because money will amplify your character. Money will show us who you are. Money will reveal you to us, basically. So I wish money on you guys. I wish long life on you guys, and riches and more riches on all of you, so that we can see who you truly are when you have money.